When you look at most footballers, they typically have a very lean and skinny build. However, there are some others who like to add a bit more muscle to their physique. But then you have a guy like Givanildo Vieira de Souza, or more commonly known as Hulk. The guy is absolutely massive and looks like he belongs on a rugby pitch. His physique is so unusual that since his younger days, he started calling himself Hulk, and everyone just kinda stuck with it. I mean, I wouldn't question the guy with absolute tree trunks for legs that could probably split me in half with one kick either. But all that training isn't for nothing, because Hulk on average has the most powerful shot in football history. When he strikes the ball, even the greatest goalkeepers of all time would be a little nervous at the sheer power and accuracy of his shot. Defenders standing in front of him are absolutely terrified, and his teammates will even dive out of the way to prevent getting a concussion. I mean, look no further to one of the most broken FIFA Ultimate Team cards of all time. But despite his talent for scoring goals and having one of the most powerful and accurate long-distance shots of all time, as big of a footballing cult icon as he is, he never really got to showcase himself in the world's biggest stages. Infamously known for being a player who always followed the money over the glory, he's never played in any of the top 5 leagues in Europe, yet the world still knows his name. This is the story of Hulk. The story of Hulk started off in the favelas of Rio de Janeiro, where Dr. Bruce Banner is hiding and wait, wrong story. Givanildo Vieira de Souza was actually born in Campina Grande, one of the most prosperous cities in Brazil. Unlike many of your stereotypical stories of Brazilian footballers, Hulk had your typical childhood with very loving parents. I know, it's kinda hard to believe, but the nickname Hulk was kind of something from his father and himself. As a child, he was always a fan of the Marvel character, and ironically enough, his father even told him he looked like the actor Lou Ferrigno, who actually played the character Hulk in the late 70s. So ever since then, they kinda just stuck with it. And looking at this dude, I'm sure nobody else questioned why. It's just one of those cases where his name perfectly describes who he is. Because like the Hulk, when it came to football, what really made Hulk a standout talent was his speed, strength, and power. At the age of 14, Hulk already started playing for professional youth clubs around the country. Even as a minor, Hulk was already a physical specimen, looking like a man amongst boys. But Hulk's career took an unexpected turn when he was loaned out to Japan and played for Kawasaki Frontale in 2006. But upon arriving, he was quickly loaned out to another Japanese club in Sapporo. But this would turn out to be a blessing in disguise, scoring a total of 25 goals and finishing just 1 goal shy of being the top scorer in the league. And Hulk was only getting started. The 2007 season saw Hulk improve even further, as he would go on to score 37 goals in 42 matches, finishing as the league's top goal scorer. And this is when Hulk really started to build a reputation. He originally began as a winger, where his incredible pace, strength, and Brazilian flair made him a nightmare to mark for defenders. With his massive frame and very respectable ball handling and playmaking, defenders struggled to contain him. But what truly set Hulk apart was his thunderous shot. When he struck the ball, it wasn't just a tremendous force, but he also had the accuracy. Hulk's shots were truly like missiles. Even the greatest goalkeepers in history would flinch in the face of his strikes. And Hulk was also an incredibly gifted free kick taker. From up close or especially from distance, you had to respect this man. After all, he grew up watching his fellow countrymen and all-time great free kick takers like Juninho and Rogério Ceni. And defenders challenging Hulk faced a dilemma. Either close him down and risk being outmuscled, or watch him fly past by you, or give him space and let him launch that incredibly thunderous shot. This guy's shot was truly so hard that if the ball hit you on the face, it would give you the cleanest shave ever. Just like today's sponsor, Harry's. Harry's gives you top quality razors at an affordable price delivered right to your door. Harry's blades are made with their very own factory in Germany, where they've been making blades for 100 years. You'll get a smooth and comfortable shave every time with their precision German engineered blades and incredible design with the perfect grip. Harry's also has a complete grooming lineup, from face washes to post-shave balms and many more. And my favorite thing about Harry's is just how amazing the quality is, with such a great value and an affordable price. Plus, Harry's also gives 1% of their sales to support nonprofits providing mental health care services to men in need. And you can get your own Harry's trial set today for just $5, a $13 value for just $5. Just go to harrys.com/Raymar or click the link in the description. Thanks to Harry's for sponsoring this video. But then in 2008, Hulk would finally let his talents be tested in Europe when he would go and sign with Primeira Liga side Porto. And immediately, his presence on the pitch was impossible to ignore. Hulk would greatly improve Porto's attack, and his very first season in Europe was a massive success, as he would go on to win the Portuguese Premier League title, the Portuguese Cup, and was named the Primeira Liga Breakthrough Player of the Year. Then came the following 2009-2010 season, as this time Hulk was seen as Porto's first choice attacking option. However, his season would be cut short, as Hulk would be involved in a tunnel brawl altercation following a loss against Benfica, which resulted in a 4-month ban for the Brazilian. This was a shame, as Hulk was in great form with 10 goals and 12 assists in 30 matches. But it was really in the 2010-2011 season where we saw what Hulk could really do. In his first 16 matches for Porto, he would go on to score 16 goals, including a hat-trick in the Europa League. Hulk was absolutely on fire, helping his club win the Primeira Liga title, the Portuguese Cup, the Portuguese Super Cup, and was a huge factor in helping his club secure the Europa League trophy. But not only that, Hulk would also finish as the Primeira Liga top goal scorer of the season and was named the Primeira Liga Player of the Year. An absolutely monster season for Hulk, with an insane 35 goals and 27 assists in 53 matches. That's a ridiculous 1.2 goal contributions per game, while winning 4 trophies for his club. Yeah, smashing the ball behind the net wasn't the only thing Hulk could do. The man is also a very competent playmaker and dribbler, and he was doing this at 25 years old, just starting to reach his prime. And he would go on to continue this incredible form up until the 2011-2012 season as well, where he would go on to score 21 goals and provide 16 assists in 39 matches, a .95 goal contributions per game, while winning back-to-back Primeira Liga titles and back-to-back Primeira Liga Player of the Year awards. Those 4 years at Porto saw him winning 3 Primeira Liga titles, 3 Portuguese Cups, 3 Portuguese Super Cups, 1 Europa League title, as well as being the 2-time Player of the Year, top scorer of the league, and holding the record for most Primeira Liga Player of the Month awards with 6. It was clear that Hulk was the best player in the league and his talent really belonged in the top 5 leagues. Hulk was just way too good for the Primeira Liga, and at the prime age of 27, Hulk really looked like he was destined to be a world-class superstar. And I'm sure anyone who played FIFA around this time really remembers just how absolutely broken Hulk was. I mean, look at that pace, shooting, and physicality. I remember he was literally like a cheat code, scoring the craziest long-range goals for fun. Surely there were offers from clubs all throughout the top 5 leagues. However, Hulk knew that he was just never gonna get paid as much as some of football's biggest names. And even though he had the skill and potential to probably demand those wages, he decided to take the paycheck immediately and follow where the money would pay him the most, which would take Hulk in his prime even further away from the top 5 leagues and headed all the way to the Russian Premier League to play for Zenit St. Petersburg. Although the actual amount of his salary was never really disclosed, it was reportedly rumored to be high enough for some of his teammates to be dissatisfied and go to club management to demand renegotiations of their contracts. That is just wild. So Hulk would basically spend his absolute prime years in Russia, and he would manage to score a total of 77 goals and provide 60 assists in 148 matches. That is a very impressive .93 goal contributions per game throughout his 4 seasons, winning 1 Russian Premier League title, 1 Russian Cup, and 1 Russian Super Cup, while being named the best winger in the league twice, and being the Russian Premier League's top scorer a single time. Keep in mind, he was able to do this with less than ideal chemistry with the club. There were contractual disputes, injuries, disagreement with management, and a shaky relationship with some of his teammates during his time in Zenit. So now 30 years old, Hulk still had a decent chance to come into the spotlight once more and play a couple years in one of the top 5 leagues. After all, at 30 years old, he was still a very productive player. However, once again, Hulk would turn down all the offers to play in Europe and decided he wanted to grab the biggest contract, which would lead him to no other than the Chinese Super League. Yeah, this man was truly all about his business and collecting the bag. And naturally, Hulk made an absolute mockery of the Chinese Super League, even scoring 30 goals and providing 25 assists in 44 matches during a single season, a ridiculous 1.25 goal contributions per game. Though he never really played where he truly belonged on the biggest stages in one of the top 5 leagues, Hulk really did enjoy himself scoring crazy goals in Russia and in China. And after 5 years in China, Hulk finally returns home to Brazil, where he is currently balling out at 37 years old. The man still looks as scary as ever, and his shot is without a doubt just as terrifying. It's insane how in form he still is even at his age, scoring 26 goals and providing 35 assists in 87 matches in Brazil. That's 0.71 goal contributions per game. Played in the spotlight of Europe's top 5 leagues, his very unique story and career has turned him into a cult legend. The absolute walking unit on the pitch, who could launch the ball from the craziest of distances with the most intense power. While he might be known as a player who always followed the money and never played where he truly belonged on the world stage, he is undoubtedly a footballing cult legend that the streets will never ever forget.